Hello, welcome to another one of these. I'm so sorry that I couldn't actually get to OSS 258. I meant to, but you see, I figured that those would be up since the game was so huge. I figured that those games would still be up for a couple of days. I didn't feel up to doing it the day after it happened, or I guess the night of it happening because they paused and then resumed at like 1:30 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. or something like that. I didn't feel up to covering them uh, the day after it happened. But then the next day, they already completely nuked the system, and I couldn't access any of the data from OSS 258, so I couldn't commentate on it. Now, two-thirds of them did result in chops, but the big one, the $5,300 one, did not get chopped, and I would have loved to have covered that one for you. But yeah, I could not have known that they were going to just nuke the whole place and delete all that footage. So instead, you got this the next Moneymaker grand finale, which thankfully does have no chop. I do like the name Nothing Burger there as opposed to the Everything Burger. It's like, congratulations to all these guys. Um, I could go on about what this next Moneymaker Finals is all about, but I don't want to give bad information, and I'm not entirely sure of exactly what this is. You see some familiar names, like Why You Want Tilt, Darth Invader. I've seen them a lot. Yeah. The gist of it, I'll tell you at least how much I know for sure, is you didn't buy into this one. You got a stack based on your participation in the 13 other Next Moneymaker games, and that this was just kind of like your part two to it. And your stack is and your starting stack is based on your level of participation in the other ones and how well you did. So that's about how much I know about it. But you didn't directly buy into this one. Of course, I didn't participate in any of them because my budget did not allow for $86 tournaments. These guys, however, not only can they handle it, but they're ready to. Three, four of you would like a chop right out of the freaking gates. I hate all of you. Four of you want to do a chop immediately, like just straight immediately. Oh, 13 win 13. You're not a chopper. You just flop trip sevens. I love to see that. Social Slug is somebody we've seen before as well, and she is the chip leader. I remember being very critical of her play, or at least being annoyed by something she did. I don't remember what exactly it was. So fresh slate today, and she's not one of the cowardly morons wanting a chop immediately out of the gate. So far I'm rooting for her. I had to open my big stupid mouth, didn't I? Oh my god, you all suck so hard. Play poker. 13 win, waiting for a spot to maybe catch bad luck toe, and I think this might actually get paid off. King high on a board like that is not too bad. It does make the smart fold though. I say it's not too bad because that 6 on the river changed absolutely nothing. If 13 win happened to have a hand like, say, 8-6 suited or something like that, then the king 10 is still ahead there because that's a third pair and it's below the 2 pair on the board. So I actually might have paid that off if I'm bad luck toe, but he correctly folded. 3-bet from the ace queen, 13 win after a good start here. And these are the two non-cowards going at it here. Wide Dog does fold the sixes, although I'm not going to call him a coward for that. I would have folded the sixes there too. But it's already been a 3-bet. They do shrink. Queens for stairs up from Latvia. Kind of a borderline stack between open shoving with the queens and just doing a regular raise. I think I like the regular raise. Queens are very strong. Of course, I just came off watching some day 7 footage of the World Series of Poker main event where playing queens a little bit less strong resulted in disasters twice. Day 7 of the 2022 main event, that is. I still haven't finished that. And the World Series of Poker 2023 is underway. Wow, big fold there from Guidog. I'm kind of amazed that nobody gave stairs up some action there. I guess they just really figured the short stack who wants to do a chop wouldn't raise under the gun without a real hand. Like, I mean, they're right. They're right. They all make good folds. II-24 or IL-24, not sure what that is. Raises to 84,000. Maybe he named himself after his favorite interstate. Ace-Jack goes in the muck? Guidog, play poker! Folded King-Jack to a min-raise and now folds Ace-Jack to a min-raise. The sick thing is he's actually right both times. And now he raises with King-7. Well, Social Slug might be picking up on on Guidog and his willingness to continue after somebody re-raises. Yeah, good move there by Social Slug. Oh, wait, I'm not using this, am I? I do want to get this over with. Oh, God, this is a long one. How is this so long? Oh, that's right, because it's 20-minute blind levels. This is another game that actually paused in the middle and or paused at the final table and resumed at 1:30 the next day. Thankfully, this one actually let me look at it a little while longer. Bad luck Toe with a decision here. I'd fold probably. Oh, he's gonna keep going. Ooh, that's the kind of flop you want with King Jack suited. You got your flush draw and a gut shot to the queen. Of course, Lucky Mentality has the queen of spades, which is the most ideal card, but Bad Luck Toe still has a lot of outs. And this may be a spot for a shove. No, just a call. I think I like the call there because of the ICM considerations. If you happen to get called and miss the draw, you're out. Whereas just chasing the draw like this, you probably won't have to put all your chips in. Lucky Mentality does go for the bet, but it's a regular bet. Bad Luck Toe with still a very good draw and can just call, and if he loses the hand, he's still got a little bit left. That's the worst. That's dirty. He hits the king and he has no idea if that's good or not. If Lucky Mentality has been bluffing this whole time, which, get this, he has been bluffing this whole time. All he has is a gut shot, but he has the king queen, which is the only bluff that beats his bluff. And it's going to end up going check now that they both have showdown value. Okay. But yeah, Bad Luck Toe manages to stick around. Now, we know that if he had raised the flop, Lucky Mentality would have folded for sure, because it's just a gut shot. But he couldn't have known that. If he was up against, like ace 10, that's a snap call, and he has to hit his draw or get knocked out. Ooh, II 24. Playing that ace as aggressively as he can and gets what he wants from it. Bad Luck Toe, by playing it the way he did, is now tied for 7th effectively. And has enough chips to hurt all the other players. He pretty much can't play poker right now. He has to look for an all-in spot, unless he wants to play this. He can if he wants to. He is. And of course, 7-9-9 when you've got an 8 in your hand. Typical. And gets chased off the hand, and his stack is now shorter, but still not completely down to the felt yet. Stairs up. Oh, wow. Folding the 2s. Finally, somebody shows restraint. Somebody actually understands that a pair of 2s are like one of the worst hands to move all in with, because you literally can't be ahead. You can only be flipping or behind. Oh, this looks like an all-in. 13 win, raising with King Queen. Ace Jack for Dean Old 55, who has been very quiet, but that's too strong of a hand to... I mean, Guidog folded it, so let's see. Okay, he is going to go for it. 13 win, can fold if he wants. I would just kind of sigh and call here, probably. He's going to fold, though. Very good discipline. He's more disciplined than I am. I just figured that there's a lot of pairs there that I'm flipping against. And Ace-Jack's not too bad to go up against either. But anyway, that was objectively the correct fold. Okay, one more thing, and maybe this is why everybody was so quick to jump on the "I'm a coward, please shake hands with me and quit playing" train. The one thing that's not reflected in that prize pool is that the real prize pool is actually 733,400. There's an extra 100 grand going to the winner, which is not split among the rest of the players. I don't know if that's part of the chop. I assume it has to be, because obviously if you chop, there's no winner. So that, I guess, becomes chopped if you go along with it. Here comes another all-in, and I don't think he's going to fold this time. Yeah, he is going to go with it. And a jack on the flop. 13 win 13. Alien versus Alien. Russia versus Latvia. I guess aliens are just really popular in Eastern Europe. Just a beautiful flop for 13 win 13. Stairs up with just nothing to go off on there. And a queen takes the lead back. What's fair is fair. You got it in good. No jack on the river. 13... sorry. Stairs up completes the double up. 13 win 13 now has the same amount of chips as Stairs up. But again, what's fair is fair. They had two really big hands, and only one could walk out alive. Really? Why? Why do they do that? I don't think any of these players know I exist. And Social Slug just called. What are you doing? Look what you just left yourself with. You left yourself with ace high and a third of the pot. And like, what, 4.5 big blinds. Why did you do that? How do you fold here? He's got the best hand, Social Slug, with really nothing, but I can't imagine she's folding here just because there's like... That was so pointless. That was completely pointless. Well, Bad Luck Toe has to dodge a jack, a 3, or a 7 splits it. Nope. Full double for Bad Luck Toe. I'd be happier if he had just moved all in directly. instead of pointlessly raised almost all in and delayed the inevitable. Well, Guai Dog's certainly going to fold the sixes based on what we've been seeing here. Social select with another well-timed 3-bet. He's got a decent hand, but he has been extremely tight and skittish so far. I don't see him ever unchecking. Uh-oh. Oh, we got 10s, 9s, and aces. Of course, there's a 9 about to fold there, so lucky mentality's got even less outs than he thinks. Well, this is how Guai Dog gets to the final table. Just waits and waits. And hopefully, when he's in the big blind, the other players kind of forget about him and they build a pot for him. And then he's ready to take it. Social Slug. Looking at that 3-bet from the tightest player at the table. Gets away from the 10s. You see, that's the problem with playing too tight. You start making noise, and the good players who take note of you, they can fold 10s and 9s. Look at that. They both got away from it. Very impressive. But that's the problem with playing too tight. Yeah, you can back into a pot here and there, but they're not going to build a big one for you once they see that you're interested. That was a pretty good pickup, though. Guai Dog now back up to about 1.9 million. To me, it's very clear that his goal is to ladder up as much as he can. He folds the 2s there, although I don't mind that. Got a gut shot against second pair here. To be fair, I do see that it's over $6,300 more for 7th than it is 8th. The nature of this event being called the next Moneymaker would seem to suggest that it's targeting the, medium stakes players who don't usually have opportunities to play for this kind of money. So, from that sense, I understand why Guai Dog is playing so tight, but not that tight. Dean Old in a kind of an ugly spot here. Needs 55,000 to play. Has a suited king and gets a great flop. Yeah, I don't really fault the call there. And that's just an unbelievable flop. He's going to go ahead and check and hope that there's a C-bet coming. There you go. Now you can get it in if you want. There's a few draws out there. That's a good enough pickup, I would say. With that stack, you just don't want to see any draws get fulfilled. Yeah. He's with me there. He'll pick that pot up and go over $1 million. Based on, considering where he's been this whole final table, that's a big pickup. And it's uncontested. Stairs up, we'll certainly see. Okay, well, in the words of Joe Stapleton on European Poker Tour broadcasts, see you at the river. The robots want blood, and they're going to get blood here. That is as scripted of a flop as you could possibly get. That is ridiculous. I don't even know why I'm underreacting to it like I am. That's just such a stupid flop. That's just gross. Alright, well, they're obviously getting it in here, as they should. Stairs up, of course, with some outs here. That's one of them! And the 7s cannot hit quads on the river. 13 win 13. Just with awful luck against Stairs up. Alien takes out Alien. 13 win 13. Settles for 8th place and $11,084. But, hey, making it to this final table was a huge leap up from 9th place. Alright, Guai Dog gets what he wants. Everyone left here has an okay stack. No one's got a huge stack. I'm kind of surprised to see a Social Slug only at 2.5 million now, because she seems to have pretty solid timing, at least as far as when to fold big hands and then when to attack the tighter players. She hasn't made any wrong moves. Ooh! Lucky Mentality with the bet there. Social Slug muscles up, even though she just has a pair of twos. Lucky Mentality with the better hand and the big stack, but gets out of the way. Social Slug has been very on point with her timing when to get aggressive. Not quite sure what it was about that bet. Maybe it's the fact that he was betting a 2. And she just thought, you know what? No. I have a 2. I know you're not betting, trips. Unless I just got unbelievably unlucky. Ooh. Robots might be punishing Guaidog for his ultra-tight play here. There's no way he's going to be able to put Social Slug on 8-3. Guaidog with the call. Kind of an ugly spot for Guaidog. It's almost tailor-made for check calling at this point, because if Social Slug with an early position raise has 2 big cards, then let her keep on bluffing you. And if she has, an overpair, because any pair would be an overpair to that board, then you don't want to raise and then just get dunked on later. Social Slug has upped the ante on the turn and now has a chance to bet really big on the river. In fact, Guaidog has about 1 pot left. She's going to bet third pot, figuring that Guaidog just wouldn't risk his whole stack in a spot like this. And he's only going to risk that much. But still, well done by Social Slug, milking him for as much as she could. And she is now the chip leader again. I'm struggling to remember why I didn't like her before, because she's playing flawlessly so far. No reason to play, but she's going to attack him again anyway. Guaidog once again whimpers and walks away from the table with his tail between his legs. See, you can't play like that. You can't play so tight. You're going to get exposed. Well, let's see what happens here. We got a raise from King Jack, Ace Jack for Guaidog, and stares up in position to just crush them all. There's another Jack from Social Slug. Just a call from Guaidog. Oh! Bad timing raise from Social Slug. Also, I'm not sure she even noticed that II-24 was in the hand, because that's a pretty small 3-bet. There's the real re-raise from Queens, and it should be easy for everybody to fold now. Jack 3. Well, that's our first instance of bad timing. Of course, she couldn't possibly know that Stairs Up had Queens, because Stairs Up hasn't acted yet. That's the thing. Like, any player who's really aggressive and then just runs into a really big hand in the blinds is excused because they haven't even acted on their hand yet. If they just happen to have giant hands, then that's not their fault. Should be an easy fold for 8-9 offsuit. Deanold keeping himself alive. It's not a PKO. You don't need to go for this. Now, Social Slug is getting maybe a bit more active than I would like, but see, here she is again raising with a terrible hand, but Ace King is behind her, not her fault. And 3-bet all in with 22 big blinds. Could have made a smaller 3-bet, but I'm okay with that. Oh, she's raising every hand. I think she just gets an overall impression of the whole table as being very, very tight, and she just wants to abuse them now. But I think by now that it's come to bite her in the butt a couple of times, including here, I think maybe it's time to switch gears now, Social Slug. You've raised folded 3 hands in a row now. I think it's time to slow down a bit. Oh, Guide gets exactly what he was looking for. Pocket Queens against Ace-Jack suited for II-24, the only guy he's got covered. Oh! II-24 hits the ace he needed, but the Case Queen comes home for Guide. II-24 is going to need a whole lot more help than that. Its best card he could hit would be a 10 or a king. And that is no good. II-24 is drawing dead, and the tightest player at the table suddenly picks up a good chunk of chips there. II-24. Congratulations. II-24 from the United States earns $17,418. Everyone else guaranteed over 23.7 grand. If you're upset with that kind of payday, you are one unhappy human being. Because each next Moneymaker game was a $86 investment. I have no way of knowing how many games these guys played, but even if they played all of them, that's, let's see, 13 times 86. 860 plus 258. 860 plus 258 is $1,118. $1,118 if they played every single one of them, and you're guaranteed now over 20 times that. You should be very, very thrilled with what you're about to win here. Yeah, this is a really boring looking hand. The chips are becoming very even, though. Social Slug is not going to be able to... Oh, 2 pair now for Social Slug, but there's 4 clubs. Stairs Up might want to bet here, but I think Social Slug has too strong of a hand to fold. But she'll just call. It's a really small pot, so I can't see her folding 2 pair. Yeah, just a call. And a good pickup. Well, she's not taking my advice. She's raising again with a terrible hand. Lucky Mentality with enough to call, certainly. And 2 diamonds out there for Lucky Mentality, although the 10, the 2 10s can't sit too well with him. But he's got enough to call here. Or raise if he wants to. I think the spiciest card would be the 8 of clubs, Jack of Hearts. Thing is, watching a lot of the 2022 main event means I'm also watching a lot of Kenny Tran, which means I'm probably going to call for a lot of spicy cards. 8 of Hearts. Social Slug comes up completely empty. Of course, she was doomed to be empty as soon as the Jack of Hearts came out. Lucky Mentality with not much, but at least hits something. Checks for showdown value. Social Slug doesn't even have showdown value. She has 9 high. She can either give up or go for it. She's probably going to go for it. Lucky Mentality certainly doesn't have an easy call, but based on the way she's been playing, she's probably the one person at this table that he can make this call and feel like there's a decent chance that the 8's actually good enough. The problem is he has 2 diamonds, so he knows that chances are she doesn't have a busted diamond draw. And she probably doesn't have a busted straight draw because that got there on the river, most likely. And he is going to give her credit. The fact that he had the 2 diamonds there, I think, made it harder for him to call because She doesn't have busted diamonds because he has busted diamonds. Poker is weird. Sometimes a nice looking flop actually makes it harder to stay alive on the river. Guidog with middle pair and a weak flush draw. Social Slug, of course, his personal tormentor, with a better kicker but no club. Okay, he hits the flush. He called and hit the flush. It's not a good flush, but it's a flush. Social Slug did not have to show down that last hand, but I think the rest of the table should know that she is playing very loose. And there she goes again, betting big on the turn. And quick call there by Guidog. I like the quick call, trying to discourage her from bluffing the river. Let's see if it works. Because that pair of sevens is a bluff now. It's not going to work. Guidog with the baby flush, and as much as I've criticized him throughout this whole final table, this is a really, really tough call. But he makes the call. He finally finds it within himself to stand up to Social Slug, and is correct in doing so. Very well done, Guidog. Doubles up to 3.3 million and actually doubles up into the chip lead. Very tenuous chip lead, mind you, but still. That'll be a hand that he can reflect on for ages. That'll be a hand that he can just... Like, if he ends up making it big in poker, that's the hand that he'll look back on and say, that's how I earned it. That had to be the absolute biggest decision of his life. It had to be. Especially considering he was from Venezuela. And obviously I can't say anything. Ooh, wow. Big all in from Bad Luck Toe. Haven't heard much from him lately. Stares up with a pretty tall task to call this off with ace-6. Yeah, I like the fold there. Yeah, I don't know anyone personally from Venezuela, I think. Well, actually, technically I do. My structural geology professor actually, I think has dual citizenship in U.S. and Venezuela. But all I've heard from Venezuela is the economy is in complete and utter shambles. So that hand right there could make a massive difference on his life. You gotta feel good for him. No hands here. I like to think that I'm a fair person. Yeah, I might say some off-the-cuff things, but I'm not going to hold a grudge over you. If you make a great play, you make a great play, and I praise you. But that's why I said Social Slug might want to dial it back a bit, because eventually someone's going to stand up to her. And Guidog, of all people, is the first one to truly stand up to her. Pair versus pair, Deanold just kind of quietly hanging in the weeds. His stack has been short the whole way, but it hasn't been cripplingly short yet. And he's just kind of waiting for his chance to chip up a little bit. That's not going to be a good card for either player. They both have one club, so at least they're blocking the other one. I think this is going to go check. That card completed a lot of straights too. So one pair hands are pretty vulnerable here. There's the one check, Bad Luck Toe with second pair top kicker, checks as well. But well done by Deanold. He's up to 1.5 million now. He started with just the 0.5 million, I think. He hasn't made a lot of noise, but he's got a whole lot more chips than he started with. Oh, look who's raising with Queen 6. Guidog guaranteed 6th place money. top stack at the table. Again, tenuous, but top stack. Deanold with another... Not sure whether to 3-bet all in or just do a regular 3-bet kind of hand and stack. Goes for the all in. And that'll get through, for sure. Come on, Stairs. Bold. Fly Dog certainly with no business calling here. Deanold right up there. If all he needs is one cooler to go his way, and he'll be the chip leader. Lucky Mentality folds the ace-7 there to the min raise of Dog. Still giving him a lot of respect, clearly. Limp from Lucky Mentality, Dog with a bad hand, and he's going to raise. The gear has officially shifted, guys. He is no longer afraid. He is ready to take charge and win this thing himself. There's only 6 players left. You can absolutely start trying to win it with 6 players left. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Uh-oh. I wasn't expecting the re-raise all in there. Bad luck toe with the shove with just an ace, thinking that Deanold might just be raising light, but he has the queens, and now he has 3 queens. Bad luck toe. Well, I wouldn't say lives up to his name, just picked a bad spot there. Not really bad luck, just a bad timing. And I said it. Oh wow, gets 2 pairs just for giggles. Bad luck toe. Great run, 6th place for him. And as I said, Deanold just needs a cooler to go his way. That wasn't really a cooler, but all of a sudden he's got 3 million and he can easily win this thing too. Social Slug actually the short stack now. But obviously everybody very much with a chance to win this one. It's anyone's game. $30,000 guaranteed. And this is a hand. 4 spades against 4 straight cards. Stairs up. We lose our Costa Rica player. And I just realized that the Costa Rican flag is encroaching onto the table a little bit too much. I don't usually do this, but I'll go ahead and move it a little bit now that he's been eliminated. Seven of diamonds is a total brick. Stairs up. We'll continue the ruse, though. Social Slug with a high flush draw. It's not foolproof. Of course, she's blocking Stairs Up's draw as well with the queen, but she is going to go ahead and fold it. Stairs Up, of course, had the best hand. Let's not lose sight of that. So, technically, that was the right fold. Just 1 card to come. Ooh, 6s against kings. Now, they're deep enough now they don't have to get this all in. Lucky Mentality. Certainly will re-raise here, but doesn't have to push in yet. He's got 40 big blinds. 41 even. Still a pretty big 3-bet. Maybe enough of a 3-bet for Stairs Up to fold. He does. Good fold. Lucky Mentality. Just kind of picking his spots. Pretty much everybody's been just picking their spots except for Social Slug. But now that she's the short stack, you know, she has to switch gears. Little too late, but she is still here. And she is still very capable of taking it down, especially when she gets dealt kings. And this is where her being super loose earlier may actually help her, because this raise does not have to be 2 kings. Problem is, Lucky Mentality has 2-4 offsuit. That's a shame. They ended up being kings of shreds and patches. Lucky Mentality needs to stop limping into Glydog. He knows how to smell weakness. Will we see a 3-bet from him here? Just a call. I'm fine with that. Social Slug with a calling hand, too. Oh, wow. It's a good thing she didn't call. She would have been shredded by that flop. Deanold with not a bad flop at all. Gut shot to a 2 plus runner diamond possibilities. But Glydog with 3 5s is already practically counting the chips he's about to win. And he's going to take the raise now. Not sure I like that because there's not a ton of draws out there. That's a very safe board to just keep going and plodding along, in my opinion. Deanold calls on just the gut shot, but he was getting 4-1 on his money. And that's no diamond. That's a very safe card for Glydog to keep betting. And he is actually going to have a decently sized chip lead by the end of this hand. Hefty bet, and yeah, no, not even close to worth it anymore. Well done, Glydog, 3.9 million. Not exactly pulling away yet, but that's a pretty strong lead. Deanold with a better hand now to take him down. Oh, this could just be 3-bet and fold. Just a call, and of course. You try to mix it up a little bit, and that's the flop you get with 2 jacks. Another bet from Glydog, and he just like, you know what, screw that flop, I'm not even going to... Next hand, move on. Social Slug is no longer a princess. She's a ghost now. And that ghost is going to have to fly away with 7-5 offsuit. Stares up, making a good spot to pick on her. Ace-9 of clubs. Be interesting if Lucky Mentality 3-bets. What does she do with Ace-9 of clubs? There is the 3-bet. And God, what a grody decision this is. Could just call, could go all in, could fold. I can see arguments for either one. She's going to just call, and oh, what a flop. What a flop. Just complete air for both players, but it's scary air. It's 3 diamonds. Lucky Mentality checks. Probably could have just pointed at his chips, and Social Slug would have folded. Let's see if Social Slug wants to do something now. Just a check. 5 of hearts. Obvious to anyone with any poker knowledge whatsoever, that's a brick. Check. Social Slug's got the best hand. The 9 plays. Tank. Check. 9 of diamonds. Frankly, I have no idea what they're thinking about each other right now. I'm just watching and wondering what they're gonna do. I have no idea what they're about to do. Small little value bet bluff by Lucky Mentality. Social Slug hit something, but did not hit much. And that's just such a value bet looking number. I'd probably have to fold here. It's only about 30% of the pot. Tank. You could use that tank a little bit later. She calls. Okay, no, that's in that case, that's a good tank. She used that tank very well. And now the blinds are even bigger. That's an impressive call, though. Value bet bluff does not work out for Lucky Mentality, and he's now the short stack. Still anyone's game, though, really. One cooler against Squad Dog away from being chip leader. Ooh. Re-raise with the suited ace. Denold with the small pair. Does not want to see any more. I tend to agree with him there. Strange raise. It's almost minimum, but not. There's a real raise by Social Slug. This time Dinold's only facing one raise, so he can play the sixes if he wants. They just call. No, not the worst flop in the world for sixes. Not a great one, though, for sure. It's a pretty ugly flop for sixes, actually. Even if he hits his 9, he loses he would lose to a jack, and then of course if he hits his 6, he loses to a 9. Stares up, of course, has none of that, but he will bet. Actually, the more I think about it, this flop sucks. Wow. The flop might suck, but he's got some creative ideas with it. Very small raise. Like, Stares Up is getting, let's see, 220 into 989. He's getting like 4.5 to 1 on a call, but he's going to fold. He has nothing. Nice move there by Denold. Lucky Mentality making another odd raise. Couple of jacks, fives, ace-9 suited now for Denold. This might be a family pot. Well, minus Squad Dog. He folds the ace-9. Wow. Oh. Of course he folds the ace-9 and that flop happens. Give me a minute here. Lucky Mentality. Social Slug with certainly enough to keep going. Oh, she's gonna raise a 350, and Denold is wondering where the hell are my cards. Lucky Mentality, certainly with now caught an awkward spot here. He's got fewer chips than Social Slug, but the jacks are just too strong to fold. Got a completely random call. Hang on, hold on a second. As expected, it was absolutely nothing. Just some robot from my former area code. That's the only reason why I picked it up. So Slug keeps the heat on, and Lucky Mentality sees the size of that bet, sees the size of that pot, and the size of his own stack, and has to realize that the all-in is coming on the river. She's not putting that much in just to give up. That's not the way she plays poker. Lucky Mentality has to ride with the jacks all the way, or just dump them here. Which, given that, he may as well just consider this an all-in or fold. No, just a call, and that's the brickiest brick that ever bricked. Social Slug actually might want to slow down here, just in case the fives are somehow good. She does do it, and 2.2 million chips go to Lucky Mentality from Greece. Social Slug once again back in the cellar, as it were, but again does not take too much effort to get herself out of it. Stares up with a hand here, could call. Lucky Mentality with a hand, could call, could raise. Whoa, that's a big raise. All in. Just wants no part of that flop. But when it's a raise and a call, it's understandable. Just blow them out, take the nice pick up and move on to the next hand. There's a sensible number. Actually, it's a pretty big number, 2.75 big lines. And the King 8 of Diamonds is going to call that extra large raise. Not sure why, but she's flopped herself 4 diamonds. Stairs up with... Have we not seen this before? Stairs up has King 10, flops a gut shot, Social Slug flops 4 to a flush. All we're missing is the paired board. Stairs up bets, Social Slug calls. Here comes check, big bet, fold. Oh, that's not that big of a bet, actually. She might still stick around. They have almost identical chip stacks, as you can see. Social Slug with about 19 big blinds behind. Not anymore, and that's a miss. The 10 kicker works for Stairs Up. He does have the best hand. Social Slug just kind of meekly, I assume, is about to surrender here. Just a check from the King 10, but it turns out he's good. I'm still referring to Social Slug as a female because of the princess avatar that she once had. As I've stated many, many times, I have no way of knowing. This could well be an all-in here. Taking a sweet time with the ace-10, though. There's the all-in. Social Slug's certainly going to gamble at this point. Oof! And you see that flop, and Social Slug's got to be wondering where the heck it all went wrong. Just a disaster for the 2-8s. And that's not going to help her. Actually, it does help her a little bit. Queen for a chop, 8 for the win. Nope, that's it. Social Slug played real well in the early going, but then I think just got a little bit too aggressive and loose. But great run, as usual, from Social Slug from Great Britain. $30,086 for her, and $42K now guaranteed for all these guys, and they're so close. They're so close in chips, but the fact that we're only about halfway through the final table tells me that they never actually did do a chop. Which is good. Chops suck. Wow. Got a BS fest going on here. Stairs up with a huge raise. Lucky Mentality with an even bigger raise with 9 high. Nice play, Lucky Mentality. Not even going to talk about who's chip leader or whatnot. It just does not matter right now. Stairs Up loves those big raises. There's only 4 players left. Which does set up pretty well for big raises. I'd love to elaborate on that, but I'm actually not entirely sure what I'm talking about, to be honest with you. But I do recall in past final tables seeing some like larger raises at this specific stage in the tournament, 4 or 5 handed. So they both hit their ace. And it just goes bet call, and the 8 kicker does actually work for Dino. Good thing White Dog didn't bet more. Couple of jacks. So this is going to be, what, 300,000, and then Lucky Mentality with 2-7 will either bet 900,000 or just fold. White Dog with a better flop there. Stares up, would love to convert that ace of clubs into an ace of spades via alchemy if he could. White Dog does not buckle. Not on the first one, anyway. Stares up. Checks, and lets Guidog get a second pair on the river. That's a good bet sizing. But his opponent just doesn't have enough to call. But I like that bet size. Stares up the odd man out, as it were. But again, he's still not that far behind. Considering there's only 4 players left, the parity is incredible at this final table. Good parity in this hand because nobody's got anything. Deanold now has a pretty good draw. It's only a gut shot, but it's a gut shot to a 7-card straight, or a 6-card straight. And he'll bet it, and he'll win it. Lucky Mentality with a just regular 2.1 X raise instead of a 2.0831 X raise. Well, that's a flop both players are fond of, obviously. Top pair with a straight draw. Stares up with the better straight draw, but Lucky Mentality with the better kicker in case they both miss. Well, that flop, I mean, that turn card might change things. How they both lose to an 8, and 4-handed, you gotta believe that there are 8s in just about anybody's range. Does go check, check. There's the last jack. Lucky Mentality could not have asked for a better card. But even then, I think it's only going to go 1 bet and a call. The question is who bets. But the bet itself might be pretty hefty. That's only half pot. I could be wrong. But if he is going to raise, he's going to be extremely lucky. Yeah, just a call. He would have had to be extremely lucky to be called by Queen Jack, because that's about the only worse hand that makes any sense that would actually pay him off there. So the just call there is a good play. There's 4 cards to a straight out there. When you only got traps, you should not be raising the river. Another fun flop. Lucky Mentality with 10s and a gut shot. Kings and a gut shot for Guidog. Again, blocking each other. But Lucky Mentality has 2 blockers, so he's the overwhelming favorite now. Guidog has a diamond now. But that doesn't change the outs, because Lucky Mentality still needed the queen anyway. Half pot bet from Guidog. I think by now everybody knows that he is actually stepping up a bit. Lucky Mentality with a tough decision here regardless. And he's going to raise. Really test Guidog's resolve here. I think he's got enough to call. Let's see. Yeah, he calls without taking too much time. And it's the queen on the river. Lucky Mentality hits his straight. Guidog has top 2 pair. A disaster for the Venezuelan. And a tiny bet by the Greek. I think Guidog might have the sense to just call here. There's 3 diamonds out there, 4 to a straight. Just a call, so he dodges complete disaster, but what a hand. What a river. Lucky Mentality living up to his name now. 5.7 million, and now we finally have a clear front runner. Big moment for Lucky Mentality. Big moment for this whole tournament, because we finally have a dominating leader, and he's going at it with 3.5x raise in the small blind. And Guidog can't play back at him anymore, at least not without a good hand. There's his usual weird raise. 2.11x. certainly raise with a couple of twos with his stack. Stairs up with king 5 off, kind of raggedy hand. Alexa just let him take it again. Up to 6 million now. And even Stairs Up doesn't want to make a huge raise from the small blind to the big blind anymore. Blinds keep going up. It's 20 minutes. Of course, I have it on 2x speed, so it seems that they're going up faster than they really are. Airball flop for both of them. Guy Dog with the king 10 has a better hand, but checks it back. Lucky mentality. Might take that as an opportunity to make a bet. He does. Guy Dog, though, with an up and down straight draw. The king 10 starting to form a hand here. Makes the call. Doesn't quite hit it, though. How strong is Lucky Mentality's resolve here? It's strong. Guy Dog can't possibly call this with king high. Well done by Lucky Mentality, just pushing the whole table around. He knows he's real close to becoming the next moneymaker. He's going to do it with weird raises. He's going to leave his own signature on this tournament. I'm glad they're not min raises, but there might as well be min raises just with some fancy numbers added to it. These are 2 short stacks. And quick one for Guy Dog. He did flop the gut shot after all. Everyone's got something here. Guy Dog raises. Jack 9 of hearts decides to fold. Deanold might be in ladder up mode at this point. Re-raise from Lucky Mentality. It's a small re-raise. There's the all-in. Lucky Mentality, wow, did decide to put in the 376,000 just to fold. Of course, Guido had pretty much the bottom of his all-in range there. If Lucky Mentality had known he was up against King-Queen, of course he'd call, but very few times is Guido gonna move all in there with a hand that Ace-2 is actually doing well against. That's probably why he 3-bet so small in the first place. Ace-6 and says, yeah, Deanold is in ladder up mode. I think it's pretty clear. Well, he only played one big pot to get to this point. The rest he just kind of slowly laddered. The rest he just kind of slowly accumulated to his stack. Lucky Mentality with a pair of aces, stares up, has a pair himself. Maybe thinking of shoving. No, he gets out of there. Wow. Just recognize that that board can hit Lucky Mentality, and if it does, it probably hits him better than the 9-8 did, so he gets away from it. Deanold just folded pocket sixes under the gun at a 4-handed table. Okay, yeah, he's done playing poker. I'm surprised he hasn't clicked the evil green circle. Now, I know that Lucky Mentality won't let him, but, you know. If you're going to play, like, that much of a coward... He's not a coward, but he's playing like one. He just badly wants to ladder up. I don't know why. He already... What are you all guaranteed again? 42,120... Oh, there you go. Prove me wrong. You're guaranteed 42 grand. You have no business just playing it safe and laddering up. Again, the absolute most anybody could spend on this entire ordeal is, what did I come up with again? $1,118? 42 grand off of that? At most? Like, the worst return on investment you can have there is like 38 times return on investment. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, it's a whole lot better than that. White Dog could play, but okay. Dino actually sticking around, picking up the pots where he... Oh, Stares Up is in trouble here with an ace. I expect Dino to just limp here to try and trap. Oh, he's going to make a regular raise. Stares Up with the ace. Does have some equity against two kings, of course. I assume this is a pump it or dump it decision here. It is. He's going to pump it, and Dinold with a quick, not insta-call, but quick call. I wouldn't call that a slow roll. The two kings are holding so far. Two spades out there for Stares Up. He's going to need some more. Of course, Dinold has a spade. That's not going to do it. Ace and an ace only, or Stares Up is out of here. Queen of spades. Dinold scores the knockout. Stares Up from Latvia will settle for 4th place. Great run for Stares Up. Of course, 42,000 and change for him. And now everyone's guaranteed 58 grand. Why dog? Now guaranteed a whole lot of money. And remember, he made that amazing call for his tournament life with 6 left. So he's notched himself about $34.5 thousand. $34,500 more because he made that call and was right. It's pretty inspiring, not gonna lie. Small bet, that'll get it done. Guaidoc has nothing. Suited king goes for it. Nicely done. Suited jack. I might have let that one go, but okay. It is 3-handed. He knows that he's not going to make this comeback unless he starts pushing a little bit. Does not want to play Jack 10 for all of it, though. Ooh. Lovely flop for Dinold, who I believe was the short stack starting off this final table. He's outlasted 5 of them and in very good position here. If Lucky Mentality is not careful, Dinold could take control of this tournament. Or whatever's left of this tournament. Well, he better be careful, because Dinold's certainly not going anywhere now. You could put Tiger Woods' entire net worth in this pot and Dinold wouldn't fold. He is going to go ahead and try and get some value himself. Lucky Mentality checked the turn there, which told Dinold that he should probably go for a little bit of value hunting himself. I like the bet. Lucky Mentality, again, with enough maybe to call. Because, again, we have a very safe river. Yeah, this time he does call. Little callback to earlier in the final table. Because that river card is just such a brick, that 5, if Deanold had a hand like 5-6, 5-7, that card didn't help him. Because it's a third pair. No, the King High might actually be ahead or chopping sometimes, so I don't mind that call at all. Big flop for Lucky Mentality. Of course, Deanold is blocking him again. How many blocks have we seen in this final table? Oh, got it anyway. 6 cards straight for Lucky Mentality. Deanold with a pair. Which 3-handed is, you know, worth a lot more than a pair 8-handed. So I expect him to call here. At 10-9, I think is pretty well disguised. Almost a 7-card straight. Four is absolutely nothing. Big bet, though. Polarizing bet from Lucky Mentality, and a quick fold this time from Deanold, who I think smells the rat correctly this time. Here's a patented Lucky Mentality raise. Just a call from Jack 10, I like that. King 10 with a calling hand, too. Hello! Straight for Guidog. I don't know how much action he's going to get out of it, though. Oh, that's hideous. You hate to see a paired board. The only worst card would have been the 9 of Diamonds, because that would have put 3 diamonds out there as well. But Guidog still has to feel pretty good about this hand. And with his stack being as short as it is, he just has to run with it. Just put your blinders on. You got to go with it at this point. You're not going to get many better hands than this. Unfortunately for him, no action. Amazing flop, but still in the cellar. And unlike previously at this final table, this time it will take a heck of an effort to get out of the cellar. Yeah, let's try not to have bad connection 3-handed for this big of a tournament, please. Come on, Guidogs, robots. Oh no! What the heck? Wait. Oh, I'm confused. I'm confused. What the... It claims he's sitting out, but he's actually playing and moving all in against pocket 9s. Wait. We have a glitch here. So he did move all in. The pocket 9s are calling. I hate pocket 9s, but that's a safe board. Just needs to dodge an ace. Just an ace. Oh, okay. I don't know what the heck just happened, but Deanold knocks out Guidog. Guidog from Venezuela, who played very tight in the early going, but then played his heart out to finish third. Admirable to say the least. Amazing job getting the 58,000 plus. And now we're heads up. And remember, one more time, let me remind you that they're not just playing for the difference between first and second. There's an extra 100K up for grabs as well. That is just purely for the winner. It's set aside whatever the prize pool ended up being. There's an extra 100K for the winner. And whoa. Here's a hand. And these guys are both ultra deep now. I'm actually kind of stunned that they're not going for the, you know, the evil green circle. But these are the ones who avoided it pretty much the whole way. They're willing to go the distance, and I celebrate them for it. Oh! Ho, ho, ho. This game could end right here. It really could. 3 aces for Deanold with, of course, the straight draw. Lucky Mentality with the royal flush draw. I don't think it will end here because they're very deep stacked. But you couldn't set up a much crazier hand between these 2 hole cards. Or these 4 hole cards, I guess. Will we see the 10 of clubs? Will we see the 10 of clubs? $352, lucky mentality. You can't fold. You cannot fold this. 7 of clubs. Lucky mentality. Called with the mentality of getting lucky, and that's exactly what he did. And now he checks. Oh, that's a mistake. That's a huge mistake. Yeah, Deanold smart enough to check it back, even though he's got trips with the top kicker. That check was a huge mistake by Lucky Mentality. Whatever Deanold was betting with, he has to pause there, because that's the nut flush that Lucky Mentality has. He's got the best possible flush there. So, unless Deanold had a full house, which you're losing to anyway, you know, maybe that's why he checked. Maybe he just wanted to be careful in case he was up against a full house, now that I think about it. If so, that makes sense. Although, heads up, I think you would still want to go for some value there. And now he's apparently sitting out. What is happening? Oh no. Now the robots are attacking Greece, apparently. Oh no! Wait, you mean it's actually happening this way? Okay, he's back. Question mark. Plans are up again. Decent flop for Deanold. Fantastic turn for Deanold. Lucky Mentality just not giving him any money yet, though. He may try. Nope. Not yet. Let's speed through it then. Deanold's got to go for it here, I think, but Lucky Mentality is not going to pay him off with that garbage. Very good work by Lucky Mentality. Don't give away any unnecessary chips. You got so far, you don't want to do something stupid to lose out on a potential 100 grand. Although Deanold's in pretty good shape here. Here comes a 3-bet, and here comes a fold, I assume. Big 3-bet. 4-9 offsuit is not going to play well. Actually, it does have a decent chance against Ace-King, but, you know. Okay, this is putting me on tilt. Why does it say he's sitting out when he's not sitting out? Oh, here's a hand here, actually. Pair of 5s against an up-and-down straight draw. Big bet from Deanold. Yeah, I can't imagine him folding there with a decent draw on the flop heads up. He would have preferred to have 7-4, so that if he had to hit a 6, it'd give him the nut straight. But 8-4 is not bad. 8-5, though, is the best hand right now. He's looking for an ace or a 6 is Lucky Mentality. And he won't be looking for it on this river. Big bet again by Deanold. Just wants to get rid of that draw. I guess he just had a feeling that Lucky Mentality had a draw and he wanted to chase him out, and he did it. Black flop for 2-3. 2-3 suited. The diaper. Getting better for Deanold. I think one more bet should take this one down, though. That'll do it. That's a big one. King Hindcamp does not want to stick around for that one. Bunch of nothing here. A lot of heads up is going to be two guys with absolutely nothing. Which can get intriguing, but I'd like to skip forward. Two more interesting flops. That's not an interesting flop. Deanold had the pre-flop betting lead. And that's all it takes sometimes. Oh! Ace stick around. That's right. Ace high is actually good in heads up a lot of the time. Checks. Check. Third pot. Slow down for this one. Fold. Good work, Deanold. Hello? Just a call. Ooh! Lucky mentality with top two. Deanold with just the pair of aces and no kicker. And he better be careful here. As soon as lucky mentality inevitably starts playing back at him. He chooses to slow play there. I like that, because Deanold is clearly doing the heavy lifting so far. Brick turn. You don't want to keep betting. You flop a pair of aces heads up, you're feeling pretty good. 1 million now. Lucky mentality in the driver's seat. This is probably where I'd want to slam the hammer down and go all in. There's 2 flush draws out there. He's just going to call, and there is a third diamond out there. Of course, of the 2 flush draws, that's the one you'd rather have hit, because Deanold probably wouldn't have been betting 2 random diamonds this strongly. Deanold looking at 4.4 million out there. Finally checks. Lucky mentality with aces up. Does he want to press even further? Or does he want to just check and take the chip lead? No, he's pressing for all of it. And Deanold folds immediately, realizing that lucky mentality's got to have something if he's stuck around this long. Well done by lucky mentality, stringing him along there, taking that big pot and taking the lead back. Pair of 3s should stick around here, you'd think. Oh, he's going to do more than that. He's going to raise. Lucky mentality. Everybody's got the skills to go along with it. Queen 5, Queen 6. Queen. Special kind of flops. Lucky mentality. They're both heading for Chopsville here, or not. Diamonds for Deanold. Quarter pot. Lucky mentality is not going anywhere for quarter pot. Three of hearts. Ends up going check since the flush didn't come through. They both have second pair and no kicker. And the kickers, because they had no kicker, you know what they say. Everyone loves a chop pot. Although, again, the footage I've been looking at from the main event last year, there's some unlovely chop pots in that one. Oh, now the runner flush does come for Deanold. He already had the best hand, and Lucky Mentality has Queen High, so let's just skip. Lucky Mentality is not going to pay this bet off. 675,000, yeah, he's not going to pay that off. He's hoping he had like a 5. Lucky Mentality has Ace-Jack suited, doesn't get to use it, though. I am kind of blown away that the final table started out with 4 people clicking the evil green circle instantaneously and another 2 joining in within a minute. And yet, here we are with pretty evenly matched heads up, and they're actually not doing it. They've actually rediscovered their will to play poker. They've rediscovered their will to uphold the spirit of the game. Lucky Mentality was pushing those pocket 5s a little harder than I thought he might. And once Deanold called that bet on the turn, he knew that the 5s were no good. So he did not press any further on the river. Lucky Mentality with a defensive hand here. Ace high. Which, again, heads up is not bad. He's not going anywhere for a quarter pot. So he's just going to check. That should win it. Raise, call. Queen 8's a very mediocre middle-of-the-pack hand. Hello. That's not a call. What you don't want to do with ace 9? That's enough maybe to call. Nope. Folds ace 9. Three sixes for Deanold. Nothing for Lucky Mentality. You know, hitting your hand is only part one of running good. The other part of running good is the other guy has to hit something too. And you watch any heads up for any length of time, and that'll remind you of that fact. Well, here we go. Middle pair versus the straight draw. Some fireworks are going off here. Lucky Mentality sticks around. Now it's a double gutter for Deanold. Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's a single gutter for a jack for a 7-card straight. But no other card will give him a straight. Big bet. Lucky Mentality can't like that turn card. That should be a fold. But if he calls, that would be one impressive call. No, he can't do it. Deanold's been upping the pressure in pretty good spots to do so. Joker versus Borat. Hello. Huge hands here, heads up. They keep raising the same amount here, which is actually kind of refreshing after Lucky Mentality just raised practically schizophrenic numbers. Just to call with a King Jack, I like that. It's a great hand, heads up, but let's not completely lose our mind over it when we still have 50 big blinds behind. Very safe board for 2 jacks. There hasn't been a whole lot of 3-betting, and he is just gonna fold. He has to recognize that with the relative dearth of 3-betting, then that King Jack is just nowhere near strong enough to keep going there. Another queen. I have seen quads on the board. Full house on the board. Not even gonna bother with a jingle. This pot's so small. Oh. Oh, good call, though. Good call for the chop there. Deanold just wondering if maybe he can steal it and take him away from the chop pot, but no. Worth a try, I guess. Pair of 9s for Lucky Mentality. Is that enough to keep him in? Could make this call. Pot's pretty small. Oh, he's going to raise. Not really sure why. Representing runner flush, I suppose. He does have 1 diamond. I don't know why he raised there. He's throwing his hand into a bluff, and I don't know what he's trying to fold out. For a pot that small, I wouldn't really be turning my pair into a bluff there. I would just call with my pair and see if it's good. Thin value bet this time with the same pair, basically the same board. So he is playing his pairs in creative ways. Now they better get creative here. They have the same crappy hand, except nope, they still have the same crappy hand. And anyone want it? Yep. Yep, Lucky Mentality wants it. And suddenly he's opened up a pretty big gap. Without winning anything extraordinarily large. 30 big blinds left for Deanold. Six on the turn would just be dirty here. Don't know if we'll see it though. That raise might get Deanold out of here. Nope. And it's a 7 of hearts. Ooh. Lucky Mentality can't like that call. And that 7 really didn't do anything for him. Like that card couldn't have completed any hands because 6-4 was already there. Lucky Mentality is going to keep betting, and Deanold has much more reason to stick around now. Just a call, though, and an 8 of clubs breaks out. Queen high is the best hand. There's no way they can know it, though. Can Lucky Mentality win this pot? He can win it with the check if Deanold doesn't want to bet. No, he's going to go all in. That's how to win it. He's going to go with a triple barrel bluff, which happens to be with the best hand, and now he has a huge lead. Well, any hand could be the hand, so I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, hello. Keep it at 1 speed. That was a good time to play an ace aggressively, I must say. It's all slipping away. You got to do something. 2.5 million is still enough of a stack to be scary. You can't take the lead in one hand, but you can at least dent him. And boy, those are another 4-card board for Deanold. He has 6, 7, 8, 9, and 4 clubs. But just can't complete a hand for some reason. It's like hitting 14 or 15 greens in regulation and having 32 putts. Oh my goodness. This is probably the last hand here. Lucky Mentality's got 2 pair. Deanold with top pair and a good kicker. Love my King 10, but it's about to betray Deanold here. Lucky Mentality probably 1 raise away from bringing this thing home to Greece. Seeing that raise from Deanold might tell him that he's up against another king. He's just going to call. He might regret that. That 6 of spades will slow both of them down, you'd think. Although Deanold does have an out now. Well, he already had the 10, but he can also win with a... Actually had a 10 and an 8. 10, 8, or 9. And Deanold actually has the best hand here. Bet 420,000. Definitely going to at least call Deanold. It's a good bet size from Lucky Mentality. It'll keep him on the hook for sure. And wow, what a fold! He saw the value sizing of that bet and said, nope, I'm going to let you take this one. I'm not going broke on this hand. That's a very impressive fold, although he's getting really, really short. But he could just sense that he was about to go broke there. Kings for Lucky Mentality. Well, that's not fun. Just a limp. And luckily for Deanold, he doesn't hit any of that. Min bet, fold. More like D fold 55 at this point. But hardly his fault. I'm hearing a garage door open, and I'm trying to look out to confirm that my parents are home. But the tree outside my room is so thick and covered with leaves that I can barely see anything. We should be just about done here anyway. Lucky Mentality just keeps on pressing. Dean'll just needs a cooler to go his way like yesterday. Here we go. Threes versus King Queen. So far so good for the threes. Let me predict the run out. 5-8. That's the one face card he's okay with. Oh, there's a 5. Okay, he got the double up. Hang on a second. Almost out of here. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that they didn't need my help bringing in groceries or anything. They don't. So let's go ahead and bring this home. I unpause. Right. There we go. So double up for Deanold. He's not completely out of this yet. Lucky Mentality, very strong hand again. Deanold certainly with enough to call. Nobody had any of that. If it were threes against King Queen again, that would be a very spicy flop indeed. Lucky Mentality might be able to realize that his Ace King's good here. Nope, he's going to check. Deanold does not really reach. Lucky Mentality with enough showdown value, he can probably just check it back if he wants to. I don't know how many better hands would, or worse hands would call. He's going to go for value, but 10 high is not going to call him. I suppose King Jack might, but if he had King Jack, he probably would have raised pre-flop. I guess he's targeting weaker aces. Pair of 8s. Okay, Deanold has a little bit of that. And time to take it, I think. Okay. Like, it just seems almost hopeless, but one double up from Deanold would get them back to dead even. Lucky Mentality going for the raise. Deanold with the raise all in. Lucky Mentality with a icky decision here with a weak ace. That's a big raise from Deanold. Like, suspiciously large. 28 big blinds, heads up. He's going to call. He just does not believe in Deanold. And Deanold suddenly in position to double up and even this thing up right then and there. King 5, King flop. Not bad for Lucky Mentality, because a 5 would chop it. An ace would probably chop it. Whereas only a 6 would give him the win. And there it is. A 6 to give Lucky Mentality the lead. Deanold, of course, now needs a 10 to take the win back. And a 5 is no good. A 5 does not chop the pot because Lucky Mentality would still win with King, King, 6, 6, ace. But a king... No, not a king either. Ace. And actually, ace wins it. Ace is not a chop. Ace wins it. Because it would be ace, ace, king, king, 10 for Deanold against ace, ace, king, king, 6 for Lucky Mentality. So he needs a 10 or an ace to win. Otherwise, it's over. And that's it. That's it. No miracle for Deanold. Lucky Mentality from Greece has won the championship. Deanold 55 from the United States is $77,654 richer. But Lucky Mentality is your next moneymaker with $203,877. Way to go indeed, Lucky Mentality. I hope you enjoyed my coverage of that one as much as I enjoyed watching it. And it's 1:53 p.m. now, and I haven't had lunch yet. So I'm going to very abruptly stop this video now and eat something. Bye-bye. I'll see you on the next one. Whenever that may be. Might be a while.